happening? Where am I?
Hello, Nero.
Who are you?
Don't worry about it, but I have a few questions to ask you.
Why should I tell you? I'm the world's greatest artist. I'm superior to you.
In all seriousness, you're probably one of the worst artists in history. Your harp playing sounds like a dying squirrel.
Lies.
Now to business. I've come to ask you why you're so intent on ruining the world's greatest dynasty, the Julio-Claudians.
I never intended to end my own rule. It's not my fault the Praetorian Guard didn't like my music. If anything, they tried to strengthen my dynasty.
You played the fiddle while Rome burned.
Ha! Rumors are timeless, I see. History does not know that I was the key factor in firefighting and sheltering the homeless. I even returned from Antium. Do you know how beautiful Antium is in the summertime? My paintings there are still revered around the world. My most famous being Impression, Sunrise.
First off, that was by Monet, thousands of years after you died. Second, I'm impressed that you did one thing right during your rule.
I did more than one thing. I ended gladiatorial fights to the death. I gave the people of Rome 400 solstices per head on 2 separate occasions.
Indeed you did, but not without your mother and Seneca, the great philosopher. Without them you would be nothing, a long-forgotten emperor, merely a puppet at the hands of your elders.
Absolutely absurd. I built the Roman Empire to its finest, incorporating the arts like never before. They did not influence me for long. Seneca retired, and I banished my mother for treason against the state.
Seneca retired because you were going insane, and you exiled your mother because she was threatening your power. She was the sole reason you got the throne instead of your half-brother, Britannicus, or his sister, Octavia.
Britannicus was a nerd. He never saw that poison coming. A naive fool.
Huh. So you were admitting that you poisoned him to keep your power?
No, my mother did.
Myrtle? Uh-huh. Well, your mother did have a long history of poisoning people. She murdered her way to the top. Agrippina, what a brutal woman. She murdered, exiled, and drove your enemies to suicide. She even poisoned her husband, Claudius, for your benefit.
My mother was a loving person.
She loved you, but hated everyone else.
Very true. She was controlling. I needed time for myself, to relax. Play my harp, write poetry. I needed time to relax.
Huh. You're an emperor. You shouldn't have any time to yourself.
An artist needs time to relax and express himself. Artist first, emperor second.
That is literally the stupidest thing I've ever heard. You let Rome go to ruins.
Actually, I helped rebuild Rome. After the fire, I used it as the perfect hub to make Rome more efficient and aesthetically pleasing. I recreated a rectangular street system with blocks and added skyscrapers. I built the Empire State Building with my own hands.
Yeah, however you decide to view it, you were obsessed with the arts, to the point it drove you bonkers. You cannot deny that. Your diversion was the sole cause of Rome's relapse.
This instant, how dare you treat a Roman emperor, specifically the greatest, with such barbaric behavior? I demand you be exiled. Perhaps then you could reflect upon your impertinent behavior.
Too bad that authority has been removed for nearly 2,000 years. 1,946 exact. Just as long as that dusty, grimy toga.
You hipsters have no sense of style. Rather than discussing my brutal shortcomings, why not talk about my other unsurpassed achievements in other moments of my reign?
Not that there's much to brag about. You literally ruined the empire, designing some me time for finger painting and coloring books.
Is that so? Then explain the quinquennial games.
What about them? All you did was copy the Greeks, bringing their Olympics to Rome.
Ah, some might say so, while others may preach the contrary. I brought their exciting games to my native land, making them better in all aspects. I constructed marvelous gymnasiums and baths, bringing the Hellenistic achievements to the new Rome, my Rome.
But you still copied them.
Preposterous. Any man with half a brain could think of such games, yet none other than I can make it what it became.
Just a reminder, you did have a disastrous end to your reign, causing the end of the Julio-Claudian dynasty, as well as creating the Year of the Four Emperors, the most disastrous time for Rome.
I miss those days. The days where I was chief sovereign over my native land, establishing an aesthetic Rome.
You died hated by the state you loved.
Nonsense. Who currently records the events of today, for those of tomorrow to enjoy? I suppose some ignorant species. You would think I were Tacitus, highlighting my worst hours.
Isn't that the duty of a true historian?
Thank God for that.
Back to your death. Walk me through how it all went down.
It all began when Seneca retired. That unloyal traitor. It all went downhill from there.
Yet again, Seneca resigned because he went insane.
Anyway, back to my demise. After his resignation, the Senate began to harshly condemn my love for the arts, viewing it as an obsession.
Which it was.
This forced me to execute several predominant figures at the time. But it was necessary to preserve the welfare of the state. They committed terrible acts of treason.
Whatever you say.
Conspiracies began to form, and in 68, Galba began a revolt, securing the Principate for himself and his own administration.
Galba? The governor of one of the Spanish provinces?
Yes. It was at that point that my guards abandoned me, vulnerable and open to those who opposed my order. I was forced to commit dreadful suicide. What an artist the world lost in me.
And yet again the world loses you. Have fun in the underworld.
Pretend crying, say lies.
Alright.
Can you see my head?
No, you can't.
Oh.
So,
Just
I'll let you do that.
I never intended to bend my own rule. It is not my.
Who are you? No, that was stupid. No,
Just go
it's
again.
good.
Have fun in the underworld. I don't have a gun though.
Have a drink, have a drive, go out and see what you can find.